Welcome to tonight, Burlington High School's new student orientation for 2020. Um, I'm Mr. Reed, the Burlington High School principal, and Dave Watkins will also be speaking. Donna Bolin, our counselor, will be speaking, and Crystal Ecton will also be speaking, and she is our new college and career advocate. And Doug Vanderlinen or Craig Kuhlman will also be giving you some technology information for the 2020 school year. Again, welcome. I would like to kind of give you an overall informational thing for today. Just starting out for the year, students will need to make sure they bring their pens and pencils and a notebook. And there will be special items that different teachers will direct students to get individually. And if they're something that is major, they will contact the parents as well. I would also like to make sure that each and every one of you know that the student handbook is on the school webpage. Please look that over. There is lots of information in there. I don't want to go over the whole student handbook or anything, but I do want to make sure that you are aware that the rules and regulations and the new items that are up to date are in the student handbook. I would like to give you a little information. This year, school will be starting at 7:55 and will be ending at 3:10. We'll be adding approximately 15 minutes throughout the day with an extra minute or two on different classes. And all schools from the elementary, middle school, and high school have done this, and it will lessen the number of days that students will go to school by about 5 or 6, from my understanding on the school calendar. I also would like to talk to you for a few minutes about CAP advisory time. We've created this time after the first hour for a couple of different purposes. One is it also gives us the opportunity to give students the chance to go to a second breakfast, and the student will also be involved with an individual teacher each day. They will be assigned a CAP teacher, and that teacher will do grade checks usually once a week where they are talking to the students about their grades, writing goals for their grades, and doing some things like that. Now, they also will be dealing with social and emotional issues. Some of the things that we do talk about is bullying, vaping, anything that is important in society today. We try to find something to discuss with those kids as the year progresses. This has been an initiative by the State Board of Education to do so, and we feel it is very, very important to do those kinds of things. Another thing that students will be working with is the IPSs, the individual plans of study. One of the big initiatives also from the state is to create an individual plan of study for each student, trying to make sure we're matching kind of some of the classes that they want to do versus the goals that they have for the future. And so that is kind of what we do during that CAP advisory time, except the last thing is we try to do individual clubs, where clubs will meet, and we will try to have specific times allotted throughout the week for a different club to happen, and we try to make sure we have at least club organizational meetings for every club at least once a month. And so it keeps us hopping there, and we're appreciative that we have that time to work with those students and grow and get some kind of relationship built in those CAP advisory times. The other thing that I would like to sit down and visit with you a little bit about is COVID-19. We know all about what happened at the end of the school year last year, and we're also wanting to make sure and let you know that this year we're going to be starting out in a little different format. Online, remotely will be one way that we might have a few kids being in a classroom setting, but being at home online. But right now, from the enrollment pieces that we have right now, we don't have very many of those kids. But the biggest piece is we will be coming to school, and some of the things that we will implement. There'll be other things, but some of the basic things that we're implementing is a temperature check before everyone comes in the building. All people will be required to wear masks. This is going to be a very important thing for us to make sure and monitor, make sure kids are trying to keep those masks on. In the class, we will do social distancing as much as we can in every area, but the classroom specifically where they'll be in there. And we'll try to probably put every student in some form of a alphabetical setting, of some form where they come in and they're sitting in the same location with kind of the same groups of kids, so we can do contact tracing if we do happen to have a incident where we do have a case. If you have any other questions about things that may be going on, please don't hesitate. I will tell you that we are going to limit this year the amount of visitors that we have. If there are things that are brought, that will probably be put on a table right by the front door. We're just really going to try to monitor anyone coming in and out of the building and make sure we're monitoring the hallways and making sure kids are keeping their masks on. But we want to do what we can to protect all of our kids and all of our staff here at BHS. If you have questions, don't hesitate to talk, but I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Watkins to give you guys some basic information now.
Hello, I'm Dave Watkins, Assistant Principal, Activities Director at Burlington High School. I'm going to talk to you about a few rules. Specifically, the first one dealing with harassment, bullying. At Burlington High School, these are unacceptable from student to student, student to teacher, teacher to student. We do everything that we can to make sure these do not occur. If there's a situation between students, we do have a cease and desist order. That will be dealt with by Mr. Reed or myself if there are issues of bullying or harassment that are occurring student to student within our school. The next thing I'm going to discuss is attendance and tardies. Students, you are expected to be in your seat ready for class when the tardy bell rings. If you are not, you will be registered as tardy, and for every semester, you may receive 4 tardies before there is administrative action. Typically, we start with detention, and if that doesn't remedy the situation, those consequences will be upgraded. With the COVID situation, attendance will look different. Make sure that if you are absent, that a parent guardian calls into the school prior to 10 a.m. so we can get you recorded. We need 90% attendance for all students during the school year. And again, with the COVID situation, we'll have to look at things a little bit different. But again, the main thing is you need to be at school for your educational process. We understand there's going to be sickness, different things that come up. Make sure that information is communicated to the office on the day of your absence. The next thing is use of cell phones. Cell phones can be a wonderful tool. They can also be a hindrance to the educational process. We have a cell phone policy here at Burlington High School where you will check your cell phone in to each class when you enter the classroom. The teacher may allow you to utilize your cell phone for certain times during the class for assignments, etc. The other piece of this is I know we have lots of iWatches or smart watches. Those are not allowed to be used without teacher permission within the classroom as well. I just want to caution students with posting videos, things like that, that can create a major problem. If you are caught using your cell phone, posting videos, things of that nature during class time, there will be administrative action taken. Again, they're a wonderful thing. Just make sure they're used appropriately for classroom work.
I'd like to take just a minute to talk about the importance of education. I feel like BHS has taken a very prominent role in supporting the education of each and every student. I would like to commend our staff from the standpoint of last year when we did the continuous learning process. I felt like our staff stepped up to the plate, did everything that they possibly could to give the students the basic information that was required of them. And I would also like to say that the students stepped up and really did a good job of putting that information into the things that the teachers were asking, such as Microsoft Teams or even just on their individual emails. But I place a high priority on education. I'm a son of a father that taught for 40 years in education. A lot of my uncles and aunts are in education, and I know that that is something that is very, very important for students. And I know that our staff will do a tremendous job in whatever they have to do this year to make education worthwhile and important, and there'll be a lot of substance to it and rigor there for all of our students as they enter school this year, and hopefully those individuals will get whatever they need to make that next step in life.
Okay, I'm back. I'm going to talk a little bit about eligibility as it pertains to extracurricular activities here at Burlington High School. There are two forms of eligibility we have here. The first one is the Kansas High School Activities Association eligibility, which requires students to pass 5 classes per semester to earn eligibility for the next semester. So that means students have to pass 5 in the fall so they can participate in the spring, and so on and so forth. Plus, Burlington High School has weekly eligibility. The same basic eligibility criteria, students must pass 5 classes per week in order to be eligible for the following week. We run eligibility on Fridays, so if students don't pass enough classes, then they would be ineligible for the following week. The other policy I want to discuss is our drug testing policy. We initiated that last year. We will again run it this year. Students that want to be involved in extracurricular activities must sign off to participate in the random drug testing. If students choose not to participate, that makes them ineligible for all extra and intracurricular activities here at Burlington High School, which would include clubs, FCA, FFA, things of that nature. So again, that form was in your enrollment package. Please make sure you sign it with parent guardian signature and get that turned in at enrollment time. Sportsmanship is something we pride ourselves very much at Burlington High School. We want to make sure that our student participants are conducting themselves in a manner, and our patrons and fans are conducting themselves in a sportsmanship manner as well. Again, this is something we take serious. We try to promote this as much as possible. And again, we just expect our students to behave at a better rate than sometimes the people that we play. The final thing, freshmen, I want to encourage you to get involved. We offer lots of different clubs, activities, sports. Find something that fits you. You have so many opportunities here at Burlington High School. You're going to have a chance to get with different people, meet new friend groups by being involved in all these different activities we offer. Again, make high school fun for yourself. I want to make sure that things are going to look a little different, and we're going to have to kind of push through these things this year, but find a club, find a sport, band, theater, any of those things that just makes you feel a part. Get involved. It makes high school a lot more fun. A couple other things. Cell phones we talked about earlier. Just want to reiterate, no cell phone use during the locker room. That's a safety issue. Also, if there are any questions that you have regarding your activity, make sure you contact the coach or sponsor, work through them and get those questions answered. If they can't answer, certainly come see me, give me a call. I'm available, and hopefully we'll have a great year. I'm just excited that we're back, going to be back in session. We're starting athletic practices August 17th, and hopefully we'll just press through these times and keep things going for the remainder of the year. Have a great school year. I'm very excited to see you guys and look forward to seeing you come August 21st.
Hello, class of 2024. My name is Donna Bolin, and I am the school counselor here. One of the things I want to talk to you about are our curriculum programs. I will keep track of your requirements for Burlington High School graduation. Of course, that's the most important thing, making sure that you graduate first. If you do decide to go on to a post-secondary school, I'll keep track of qualified admissions, making sure you're on track for what you need to get into a state university. Also watch the Kansas Scholars Curriculum. That is a scholarship program for Kansas kids going to Kansas colleges. And for my athletes, if you participate in NCAA Division I or Division II, you also have to meet certain requirements. So I'll keep track of that for you. You'll see it every semester. At the end of the semester, it gets updated, and then you'll get a copy of it at enrollment each year. Semester grades, you will receive quarter grades and semester grades. Please do keep in mind that it is the semester grade that is posted on your transcript. It is the semester grade that will determine your GPA and class rank. The good news is you're coming to high school now, clean slate, everybody gets to start over. So maybe if you didn't have such a great time in middle school or grades weren't where they need to be, just be reassured. Everything starts over now. However, I do want to encourage you to make sure you start from day one. Don't dig yourself a hole that it's hard to get out of later. If I had a nickel for every senior who said, "Oh, Mrs. Bolin, if only I would have done better my freshman year," things like that, please don't be one of those seniors in 4 short years. So take care of your grades, and remember, it's the semester grade that's on your transcript, affects your GPA and your class rank. Honor roll. At the end of each quarter, we establish the honor roll. If you have a 3.6 to 4.0 GPA, you will be identified as a student on the high honor roll. And if you have a 3.1 to 3.59 GPA, then you will receive recognition as a student being on the honor roll. It is possible to graduate with honors. If you've come to graduation and you've seen students with the stole that said honors on it, and then the more recent years, we've given them a medallion that says honors on it. You can graduate with honors. It is based on your 7th semester GPA. So whatever your cumulative GPA is, after first semester, your senior year, so it's going to take into account all your freshman year classes, sophomore year classes, junior year classes, and first semester senior year. Whatever your cumulative GPA is will dictate if you get to graduate with honors. If you have at least a 3.2 GPA, you will graduate with honors. So that's very exciting. To graduate cum laude, you need a 3.2 to 3.49, magna cum laude 3.5 to 3.79, and summa cum laude 3.8 to 4.0. Every year students ask, well, do you round up? That answer is no. It's whatever your GPA is. We do not round up. MAP testing. Every year, freshmen and sophomores will take the MAP test. We test in the fall and the spring only. All of you will take the math, the reading, and the language usage test, and then the sophomores will take the science test as well. State assessments. At the high school level, you only have to take each state assessment one time. The English, the ELA test, is administered sophomore year, as well as the math test. And then during the junior year, we administer the science and social studies tests. ACT and the state of Kansas have worked out a deal, and the state of Kansas will pay for all freshmen to take the pre-ACT this fall on a school day. They will pay for that for you. It's a great way to see where your skills are at this time, what you need to work on to do well on that ACT later on. ACT is a big deal. It will help you get into college. It will help you with scholarships. It shows you your strengths and your weaknesses. So all freshmen this fall will take the pre-ACT. Then your junior year, the state of Kansas will pay for you to take the ACT and the ACT work keys in the spring on a school day. And they'll pay for it one time for you to do that. So that's coming up your junior year. It's really important when you're at the high school to get involved. Well, how can you do that? These first few weeks of our CAP time, different clubs and organizations will meet. You are welcome to go to each one, check it out, find out what it's about. If you decide I'm not interested in that, no big deal. But it's a way to find out what some of these clubs are all about. You're welcome to attend any and all that you want to, just to go check out. We will encourage you to get involved, but also please be very aware that you don't want to overextend yourself. Get involved in a club or two. Some of you might be in the band or the choir or athletics or Scholars Bowl or the drama, etc. Don't spread yourself too thin, but at least do one thing. Every school day, you need to report to the Commons upon arrival to school. We don't allow you to loiter in the halls. This also could be changing as we get closer to school and find out more about COVID-19 and what you need to do. As of today, though, it is to report to the Commons. The first bell will ring at 7:50. You need to get to your first hour class. You need to be seated and ready to go by 7:55. Our school day is 7:55 a.m. to 3:10 p.m. If you make prior arrangements with a teacher for help, you can go to that teacher's room when you get to school. You do need to stay in that room, though. We don't want you bouncing from room to room or roaming the hallways. If you need to come to the front office for something or the guidance office, please feel free to do so. We just don't want you hanging out in the hallways or walking the square here in the building. Admit to class slips. If you are ill or you have an appointment or whatever, you do need to come by the front office, request one of these admit to class slips. Your teacher will ask you for it. They probably will meet you at the door and won't let you in without it. So make sure that you do get one so that they know that you have checked into the office knows you are back in the building, and then you have this class to be able to come back to class. Freshman parents, make sure anytime that your student is going to be absent, please do call the front office to let them know about the absence. Schedule changes. Usually freshmen don't have very many schedule changes. However, if you are thinking you might need one, we make teacher changes only if you're moving from a larger class to a smaller one. First semester class change forms need to be completed and turned into the guidance office before first hour, Tuesday, August the 25th. If you do need to make a change, come by, pick up one of these forms. They're in the guidance office. You have to get the teachers that are involved in the change, they have to sign your paper, your parent has to sign your paper, and you sign the paper, and then bring it back to the guidance office by 8 a.m. or 7:55 a.m. Tuesday, August 25th, to the guidance office to make a change. If it is a second semester schedule change, we do those in December. So about the 1st of December, we will advertise it's time to do second semester schedule changes. They must be done before we break for winter break. We do not make changes in January. Once we return in January, we hit it hard and get going. So we don't make any schedule changes in January. I'm really excited to have you here. If you guys need anything, please give me a call, shoot me an email, drop by the guidance office. These 4 years of high school are going to go very quickly. You might be thinking, yeah, right, Mrs. Boland, but I assure you they will. Make the most of your high school career. Anytime you need something, please let me know. Have a great year.
Hi, freshmen. My name is Mrs. Ecton, and I'm your new college and career advocate here at Burlington High School. As far as career awareness goes, each year you'll be participating in a lot of career activities through your CAP advisory. Your freshman year, we're going in February, try to go to the Flint Hills Technical College and visit that so you have some experience with that, because that will be an option as you get older. Sophomores will take the ASVAB test and do other career activities, and we will continue on with your junior and senior year. You'll be seeing me a lot as we develop your individual plan of study throughout the school year, and we kind of see what your interests are and go through those. So we've interviewed some high school seniors and their advice that they're giving to freshmen, and what they would say back to themselves when they were freshmen. And so the first one is get to know your teachers and ask them for help. The teachers here want you to succeed and do well. And so ask them for any help. Don't be shy. Introduce yourself the first day, and they will always be willing to help you. Also, get involved, and Mrs. Bolin touched on this, but in a group or an activity, even if your friends aren't interested in it, but you have an interest in it, go ahead and try it out and see what you like. And then also be sure to take advantage of the opportunities and be open to change at the high school level. And be yourself, most importantly. This is one of the greatest life journeys, and so just relax, loosen up, and enjoy the experience. And before you know it, you're going to be the senior class of 2024. So good luck as you start out high school, and if you have any problems, feel free to stop by and ask.
Hello, freshmen and new students. We want to give you just some updates for technology. First of all, your one-to-one laptops. There are a lot of benefits if you take care of your laptop. As you graduate, you have the opportunity to purchase that laptop for a very low price. Usually that's $100, which gives you a very good laptop for a very low amount of money. This can be good for a main computer as you head off to the world of work or college, or even as a backup. We had 28 students out of about 65 that took advantage of it this past year because they had taken care of their laptops and had laptops that were in very good shape. Take care of your laptop. You wouldn't throw around a cell phone. Don't throw around your laptop. Take care of it as though it were a baby. We have put an additional sleeve in the laptop bag starting this year. The sleeve doesn't have to be zipped up, but the laptop needs to be placed in the sleeve and the sleeve in the bag, and it needs to be carried around that way all the time. There is a charge for repairs if it is a non-mechanical repair. So if it's a broken screen, keys flicked off of the keyboard, those are oftentimes charged, and there is a $25 charge for the first time that you have an incident, and if you have an additional incident, it becomes $50 each time. So take care of your laptop. The majority of students have no trouble, and so if you take care of your laptop, you won't face any problems either. Here's some information that we want to share with you. Utilize our resources on our district website at usd244cas.org. We also have a building resources page at web.usd244cas.org. This is where a lot of the subscriptions and the websites that teachers utilize are available for the students. Our district calendar links and our sport calendars, we try to keep those up to date as best we can. Resources for staff, students, and parents. The student email is their student username on our network at 244students.org. This can be added to a smartphone so that they don't have to go to the website to view their email, and their mail comes automatically into their smartphone. So you might look into having that set up. In addition, this email address is what they use to get into Microsoft Office 365, which is also their Teams and Office Online. We have a website called files.usd244cas.org, which houses their P drive or their personal drive, which is on our network and that they utilize when they're at school. These files are backed up every single night, and so they've got those available to them over the web as well now with this files.usd244cas.org site. Be sure and check Family Student Access, Web Access, for grades and attendance, discipline, food service. You can utilize the gradebook within the Family Access to see staff email addresses. A lot of our teachers have classroom pages on the web, and utilize our phone system to leave teachers voicemails as you need. Finally, our 244 Alerts Notification System, which is sponsored by the Coffee County Emergency Preparedness Organization, is a great way to receive information, whether it's things that are happening in the schools, or if it's cancellations or postponements of different events. And so utilize that. You'll see that you can sign up or change your alerts here on the 244 web page. Here's the family web access. Something about the 244 alert system, especially for you new freshmen, your parents may need to take off middle school and add high school if they want to get the high school notifications. So just something to be thinking about. When going to the family web access, one of the number one problems that we've had when parents can't log in is usually something to do with this login area. You want to make sure that it says family student access in the drop-down list. So if you can't get in, check that first, and from there you may need to do your forgot login, but this is many times what the problem is that drop-down. Burlington Schools has a good social media presence on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and there is a Burlington Schools app both in the Google Play Store and the Apple iPhone Store. Want to talk to students about the importance of ethics and academic integrity now that they're in high school. It's 4 short years before they enter the workforce or college, and ethics and academic integrity become increasingly important every year. Is this your work? Is this plagiarism? Have you cheated? Those things need to be considered constantly. How about your social media presence? Scholarship committees, college organizations, they look at your social media to determine whether you're fit for their organization, for their college, even for their scholarships. And so you want to really consider what it is to be a studious person and whether the image that you're portraying out on your social media is going to help you as you move forward in your work life as well as your college life. Technology contacts. I'm Craig Kuhlman, the Assistant Technology Director for the district. I spend my time split between the middle school and the high school, and so I am a good resource for the students. Monica Suter is our secondary technology specialist who is stationed here in the high school, and she is oftentimes their students' first contact when they're having trouble during the school day. And then we have Doug Vanderlinden, our Director of Educational Technology. We are all available to help you and assist you in any way that we can. There are a lot of technology leadership opportunities. Consider joining the Technology Student Association here at Burlington High School. And also we have several other groups such as FBLA, the Future Business Leaders of America, FFA, and FCCLA, different organizations that are in the technology and the career pathways area. And as I speak about that, our career and vocational pathway programs. In our building, we have between 10 and 15 different pathways, everything ranging from web and digital communications to graphic design to family and community services, production technology, animal science, vocational agriculture, many different areas. STEM and college career pathway careers oftentimes will pay $7,000 to $12,000 more annually, and in a lot of cases, many of these careers do not require a 4-year diploma from a college. Oftentimes, many of these are through a technical college or technical school, and so consider that as you go through the years here at Burlington High School. Be familiar with our pathways. Feel free to talk to any of our teachers or any of the technology staff to find out more about our career pathways. And with that, we want to welcome you to Burlington High School. Thank you for being here, and have a good evening. Have a good day.